Right then, it's the last round of League One fixtures before Christmas. So I'm just going to quickly run through my predictions. Cambridge are at home to Huddersfield. Huddersfield have been in brilliant form recently. Obviously, they drew last weekend because I bet on them at home to Lincoln. Cambridge, not in too bad form at home. They've only lost one of the last six. But they're sat in 22nd place. I think Huddersfield will be too strong for them. So gone for a 2-1 away win. Stockport versus Peterborough. Peterborough, pretty good value for entertainment. They don't draw many. They seem to have loads of goals in their games. So yeah, it goes either way with them really. But I think Stockport, they're having such a brilliant season. Sat in 5th place. I think there'll be goals in the games. I think both teams will score. But Stockport will come out on top with a 3-1 win. Wickham versus Bolton. Wickham still going really strong, sat top of the league. Bolton sat in 8th place. They have picked up. Their away record isn't too bad, to be fair, but Wickham have won 6 out of 8 at home. So I just fancy them again this weekend. Gone for a 1-0 home win. Bristol Rovers are at home to Wrexham. Bristol Rovers just sacked their manager. Haven't seen if anyone's taken the job yet. But yeah, they're home to Wrexham, Wrexham, a bit inconsistent away. Haven't got the best record, but they're sat up in 3rd place. I do fancy them this weekend, so I've gone for a 2-1 away win. Lincoln are at home to Reading. Lincoln, not in overly good form. Haven't had a win in 5. Reading obviously lost their manager. Noel Hunt's now in charge. A bit of a dose of reality, I think, last weekend. They lost at home to Blackpool. I think it was 3-0. And I don't think an away trip to Lincoln will be the easiest. So I've gone for a 2-0 home win to Lincoln. Barnsley are at home to Leyton Orient. I always think going to Oakwell in League One is a tough place to go. Like, Barnsley are quite a big team for League One. Always think they'll do well. But they've only won 2 out of their 10 home games in the league this season, which I do find quite surprising. But nonetheless, Leyton Orient have had some good results recently. But yeah, I am going to go for a Barnsley win, 3-1. Blackpool at home to Stevenage. Blackpool, another team. I think their home record's going to be good. But if you actually look at the stats, they've only won 2 out of 8 at home. So not the best. They have won the last 3 games, like I said. Good win at Reading last week. Stevenage, not particularly good on the road. Only 1 win away this season. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 home win to Blackpool. Burton are at home to Exeter. Burton have just got Gary Bowyer in charge as their new manager. Exeter, they've lost 4 of their last 5, so not in particularly very good form. Not going to go quite for a new manager bounce, but I do think Burton will get a draw, so I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Mansfield versus Rotherham. Mansfield, another team, they've lost 4 of their last 5, so not in good form at all. Rotherham have struggled all season really, but they've won their last 2 games, so they've picked up a little bit. I'm going to go for a score draw, 2-2. Northampton versus Charlton. Wasn't really sure which way to call this one. Charlton, I think, a team everyone thinks are going to do better than they actually do. Sat in 14th place. Northampton doing just about enough to keep out the relegation zone. So I think it's going to be a tight game. I've gone for Charlton to nick it 1-0. Wigan versus Shrewsbury. Wigan not having a particularly great year. But Shrewsbury, bottom of the league, they've only got 11 points. Wigan don't tend to get too many goals, so I think it'd be a comfortable win, but just 2-0. And finally, Crawley versus Birmingham. I think it's fair to say there's a huge gap in the quality between these 2 sides. Crawley, they have been going for it a bit more recently. They do score goals, so I do fancy them to nick a goal, but I think Birmingham will run out 3-1 winners. So that's my predictions for the weekend. Let's see how we get on.